Thank you for joining me for this morning's yoga practice. Again, my name is Sade, and I will be guiding you through a 30-minute morning session. And as you can see, I'm still just waking up just like you. So if you would like to grab onto a couple of props, you may or may not need this, but I always suggest that you have it nearby, just in case you need to make a quick modification. So if you have a yoga strap or a belt or strap at home that you can use, that will be great. Also, if we have a block, a yoga block, I have two. I'm sitting on one. You can also grab a stack of books that can help you as well. And then last but not least, this is something that I haven't often suggested, but from going on forward, I'm going to suggest that you grab onto a blanket as well, because this may help in the future. So you can place all of your things to the side, and we're going to get started in our practice. So you can meet me in a comfortable seated position as we get started. You're going to slowly close your eyes as we take this time to check in. Make sure to sit up tall, allowing all the oxygen to flow easy throughout the body. And while we're checking in, we're going to do a quick body scan. Starting with your awareness at the toes, gradually scan up and throughout the body. Noticing any tight, tense areas without judgment, just being aware. And once you reach the crown, the top of your head, start to bring your awareness to the breath. Notice how the chest rises and falls. Now, before we release the breath, a collective breath, take this moment to set an intention for your practice, however you may choose fit, wherever you are in your practice. Set an intention. Now, collectively, we will inhale and exhale 3 deep breaths. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Start by releasing all the air from the lungs. Take a nice deep breath in. And release. Two more times, placing your right hand on your belly. Take a nice deep breath in. And release. One last time, take a nice deep breath in. And release. Releasing your palm. Coming back to normal breath. And take a moment to smile as we start our warm-up. You can slowly open your eyes and slowly bring your chin down towards your chest. Start to rotate the head towards the left and around in a large circle. Make sure to breathe. Feel those kinks, those knots. And wherever you are, start to go in the opposite direction. Continuing to breathe into those spaces, noticing how it might feel differently on one side versus the other. And wherever you are, come back to center. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. Raise those shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, rotate the shoulders back. 2 more times. Nice deep breath in. Raise those shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, rotate those shoulders back. 1 last time. Nice deep breath in. Raise those shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, rotate those shoulders back. We're going to do one more additional shoulder stretch here. We're going to do eagle arms. So you're going to inhale, bringing your right elbow forward at about a 90-degree angle. And then slowly bringing your left arm underneath that right arm. We're going to wrap that left hand around the right as much as you can. If you're right here, that's perfectly fine. So wherever you are in your practice, we're going to take a nice deep breath in and raise those shoulders up towards the sky. Raising those hands towards the sky. And then exhale, bring those shoulders down. And you'll feel that pull in the shoulders. And release. Switching sides, we're going to bring that left elbow forward. And then wrapping that right hand around that left. And again, you might feel different on one side versus the other. So if your palms are back to back, that's perfectly fine. Take a nice deep breath in and raise those shoulders up towards, those hands up towards the sky. Exhale, bring those shoulders down, holding on to that twist. And exhale, release. If you're sitting on a prop, like myself, you can move that out of the way, place it to the side. We're going to come down to all fours. And excuse any background noise. Like many of you, I am virtually from home. We're going to come onto all fours. You're going to tuck the toes in. And we're going to do a couple cat-cows here. We're going to drop the belly, take a nice deep breath in, bringing our gaze towards the sky. Exhale. Curl the spine, tuck the chin. One more time. Nice deep breath in. Dropping that belly. And exhale. Tucking the chin. Curling the spine. Come back to neutral. And we're going to do some circles here. So you're going to drop your hips down towards the left, towards the heels, and then create a large circle rotating towards the right. Just trying to warm up the spine as you continue to circle around. Speed it up just a little bit. Making sure to take nice deep breaths. And wherever you are, start to go in the opposite direction. Really bring those hips forward as much as you can. One more circulation. And come back to neutral position. We're going to start to lift our knees off the mat. Bring our hips up towards the sky in that first downward dog. Try to bring your chest towards the mat. Keep the knees nice and bent here. Take a nice deep breath. Start to pedal the feet one at a time. And then gradually start to walk your feet towards the top edge of your mat. You need to release the hands, come up on the fingertips, that's okay. Keep a nice generous bend here in the knees. Allow the chest to rest on top of the thighs. And we're gonna reach for opposite elbows into that ragdoll position, ragdoll position and start to sway from side to side. Nice deep breaths here. Come back to that neutral position, releasing the elbows. Forward fold, nice deep breath in. Keeping the knees bent here. Exhale. Forward fold one more time and slowly rise. Straighten the legs as you come up. Allow the head to come up last. Both arms above the head. Bring your palms together. Exhale, hands at heart center. Now we're going to quickly go through a sun salutation as we warm up. And take a nice deep breath in, bringing both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, swan dive forward. Reaching for those toes. You can start to straighten your legs if you feel a little looser, or you can keep a nice bend here. We're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fall forward, placing both palms down on your mat, stepping back 1 foot at a time, coming into that high plank. Exhale, bending at the elbows. Flatten the body onto your mat, flatten the feet. Inhale, rotate the shoulders back into cobra. Exhale, come on down. Tuck the toes, push the hips back into that downward dog. Pedal the feet, start to walk the feet forward. Keeping your feet hip distance apart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly rise. And after a while, it sounds like a song. Bring your palms together. Exhale, release. And swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Placing both palms on your mat. Step back. 1 foot at a time. Exhale, come on down. This time, inhale, lift up into upward dog. Flatten the feet. Exhale, push the hips back. Come into that downward dog position. Pedal the feet and start to walk towards the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, slowly rise. Palms together, hands at heart center. Exhale, open arms, swan dive forward. This time, I'm going to sweep the hands up, push the hips back, come into that chair pose. Tucking the tailbone, engaging the core. Really feel it in those ankles. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Try to get deeper in that forward fold. Stepping back with the left foot first. We're in that lunge position, runner's lunge. We're going to inhale, sweep both arms up, dropping that left foot down. Open up to warrior two. Reversing that warrior, bringing the left arm to the left leg. Exhale, swinging those arms forward, come back onto those left toes, step that right foot back. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, you choose to do cobra or upward dog. Push the hips back. And we're going to step forward with the left leg. When we do to one side, we do to the other. Inhale, raising both hands up toward the sky. Dropping that right heel, open up to warrior two. Reversing warrior. Placing that right hand on that right leg. Exhale, swing those arms forward. Placing both palms on your mat. Coming into high plank. Exhale, come on down. Again, you can choose to do cobra or upward dog, whatever you're in your practice and you feel comfortable. Exhale, push the hips back. Start to pedal the feet. and walk forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Sweeping the arms forward, come back into that chair pose. You can choose to keep your feet hip distance apart. You can also reach for a block. Place that in between the inner thighs as you press against the block. Engaging the core, dropping the tailbone, and exhale, fall forward. We have a block for support in the inner thigh. Release it. When you slowly begin to rise. Hands to heart center. We're going to do a couple of quick standing poses. I'm just going to come to the center of my mat, but just make sure you stay where you are so you can see me. We're going to start in mountain pose. So rotating your shoulders back, having your palms facing forward. We're going to shift our weight into our left foot. Just slowly shift. And inhale, raising that right knee so that it is in line with the hip. Flexing those right toes. Now you can choose to stay here as we balance in that left leg. Or you can grab one to that right shin or underneath the thigh if you need that support. Taking a nice deep breath in. You can choose to stay here once again wherever you are in your practice, or you can start to straighten that right leg. Again, you can hold on to underneath that thigh for support. You can even choose to grab on to that right big toe, placing your left hand on your left hip, keeping the hips square, and then gently, wherever you are, releasing that right leg. Placing both hands on the hip, we're going to shift our weight into the right foot. Releasing your hands, palms facing forward. Start to raise that left foot, keeping the knee in line with the hip, flexing those left toes. We're bringing balance. Bring balance in our bodies, in our minds. Again, you can reach for that shin or underneath the thigh. You can choose to stay here. And then slowly stretch, extending with that left leg if you feel comfortable. You can even choose to reach out for that left toe, placing your right hand on your right hip, keeping the hips square and facing forward. You're going to feel the urge to come, bring that left hip back, but you want to keep it forward in line with the right hip. And wherever you are, slowly release. Bringing both feet down. You're going to inch your feet outward, wider than the hips. Toes are pointed out towards the sides of the room. You're going to hinge at the hip into a wide-legged forward fold. So take a nice deep breath in and slowly begin to fold. You can also keep your hands at your hips as a guide. You'll feel that stretch at the back of the legs. And when you get closer to your mat, you can place your palms on the mat. If you're not quite there, you can reach for your block or stack of books and use that for support as well. So wherever you are in your practice, take a nice deep breath in. Start to bring your toes inward. So now we get a stretch on the other side of the back of the leg. And slowly sink forward again. Start to walk your hands towards the right ankle. And then slowly walk your hands towards the left. Gently come back to the middle. Take a nice deep breath in one more time. Extend forward a little bit deeper. Trying to stretch your hands back towards the back side of your mat as much as you can, if you can. And then slowly release. Come back to that center position. Take a nice deep breath in and slowly begin to rise, placing your hands at your hips. Allow your head to come up last. And I'll meet you at the top edge of the mat. Placing your feet together. Inhale, raising both arms. Exhale, slowing down forward into that forward fold. You might feel a little bit looser now, which is great. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, sink forward, placing both palms down, stepping both feet back, holding plank just for one extra breath. Exhale, come on down into chaturanga. Inhale, lift up into upward dog or cobra, wherever you are in your practice. Exhale, push the hips back into downward dog, and then gently bringing those knees towards your mat. Crossing at the ankles, sitting your hips back. As we start to wind down, we're going to scoot forward just a little bit if you need to. If you're short like me, there's so much room on this mat. So I like to do a seated forward fold. If you have a strap or a belt at home, reach out for it now. If you don't, that's okay. We can always do a modified version. So if you do have a strap, you're going to place that strap at the soles of the feet. And you make sure your back is up nice and tall. You're going to inhale and exhale, fold forward. Once you start to get deeper into your stretch, extend those arms as much as you can. And if you start to surpass the strap and reach for your feet, you can let go of that strap. For those of you who do not have a strap at home, I suggest that you inhale, forward fold, reach for the shins, if that's where you are in your practice, that's okay. Start to reach for the ankles, if that's where you are, that's okay. Reach for the feet, just reach out for a body part. And once you feel like you've met your edge, you've met your breaking point, you want to hold there. Making sure to keep the back nice and straight. So we're going to do this together. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, start to hinge at the hips, coming forward. This is one of my favorite stretches because you're folding into yourself, grounding yourself, really getting in tune with your body. Slowly release and exhale. Walk the hands back. We're going to do that one more time together. This time I'm going to remove the strap. If you still need it, please hold on to it. Take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, walk the hands forward. I'm not going to hold here just as long, but I'm going to hold here for 2 more breaths. And slowly release, walking the hands back. We're going to slowly engage in the core. If you need to, bend the knees just a little bit, placing your palms facing up towards the sky, and slowly come back onto your back, engaging your core as we slowly lay down onto our mat. We're going to inhale, placing both palms onto the mat. Make sure your back is nice and flat on your mat. So if you need to, you're going to tuck the tailbone in, engage in the core, And we're going to bring the right ankle towards the left knee into a pigeon pose variation. You're going to reach out in between the legs, reaching for that left thigh, bringing the left knee in towards the chest. Make sure to keep that right knee out. Really try to stretch that hip on the right side. And on every exhale, try to bring that left knee closer towards the body. And exhale, release. Switching sides, bring that left foot towards the right knee. And if you're like me, one side feels different than the other, like most humans. You might feel one side is a little more challenging than the other, and that's okay. We're going to bring those arms in between those legs. Bring that right knee in towards the body for a nice stretch here. Really feel that stretch in the outer hip. Holding here for 2 more breaths. Releasing that foot, coming back onto the mat. Placing your feet at the edge of your mat on both sides. You can go post your arms and start to windshield wipe your knees going from side to side. Take nice deep breaths here. Come back to stillness. Bringing your knees in towards the chest. Keep the knees wide. Start to hug them in towards the body. You can choose to stay here in stillness or start to rock from side to side. Really pressing down with both hands on those legs, really stretching the hips. Come back to stillness. You're going to bring the soles of your feet to face towards the sky, extending your hands to the outer edge of both feet and pressing into the soles of the feet. We're trying to press those knees down to the outer edge of the hips, really opening up. And you can start to rock from side to side, back and forth, wherever you feel the need to. Or you can choose to stay in stillness. And wherever you are, come back to stillness. Take one deep breath and slowly releasing both legs. Extending both legs forward, coming onto your back, palms facing up, melting into the earth. Release any tension in the jaw, relaxing the shoulders, allow them to drop and fall down without holding tight. Releasing the fingers, relaxing the spine, the chest, the hips, allowing your feet to fall to the sides, completely melt into the earth. Now, if you're watching this on your own time, you can choose to stay here in Shavasana as long as you like. For those of you ready to move forward, start to bring awareness back to the toes and the fingers. Extend both arms above the head for a full body stretch. And bring it up one foot at a time, bending the knees. Gently roll over to your right side into fetal position. Using your left hand, press into the earth. Come up into a comfortable seated position. And join me at the center of your mat. You can slowly reach for your blanket or your blocks or your books, whatever you have at home, and just sit on the edge of that blanket, placing both palms together, hands at heart center. As we close out today's class with one collective breath, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, completely releasing and letting go of all the worries, all the frustrations, all the tension throughout the week. Ending your week in harmony and in peace. Release all the air from the lungs. Take a nice deep breath in and release. As always, thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this morning's practice. I hope to get to see you all again soon. Have an amazing and wonderful and hopefully long weekend. Please rest up and restore. Namaste.